your bike to the sound of It's No Big Deal. And you're trying to lift off the ground on those old two wheels. Nothing about the way that you were treated ever seemed especially alarming till now. So you tie up your hair and you smile like it's no big deal. You can let it go. You can throw a party full of everyone you know. Not invite your family cause they never showed you love. You don't have to be sorry for doing it on your own. Well, Matilda, you talk of the pain like it's all alright. But I know that you feel like a piece of you's dead inside. You showed me a power that is strong enough to bring sun to the darkest days. And it's none of my business, it's just been on my mind. You can let it go. You can throw a party full of everyone you know. Not invite your family cause they never showed you love. You don't have to be sorry for leaving and growing up. You can see the world following the seasons anywhere you go. You don't need a reason cause they never showed you love. You don't have to be sorry for doing it on your own. You're just in time, make your tea and your toast. You framed all your posters and dyed your clothes. Ooh, you don't have to go. You don't have to go home. It's a long ways to go. And I don't believe that time will change your mind. In other words, I know they won't hurt you anymore as long as you can let it go. You can let it go. You can throw a party full of everyone you know. You can start a family that will always show you love. You don't have to be sorry for doing it on your own. You can let it go. You can throw a party full of everyone you know. You can start a family who'll always show you love. You don't have to be sorry, no. Don't be sorry, no, 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 no.
Hey, how you doing? Justin here. Today we're checking out the beautiful Matilda by Harry Styles. Some really interesting guitar things going on here. It's in an interesting tuning. The chord grips are relatively simple, but the intro's got some tricky bits in it where we've got natural harmonics in with an interesting rhythm, and there's a little bit of a kind of interesting end section where the chords get a little bit more intricate. They're not particularly difficult to play, but getting them in the right order, especially if you're singing. This was a real tough one for me to sing really higher. I'm not sure how it's going to come out. I haven't listened back to it yet, but we'll see. So I'm going to take you through each little section. We'll start with the intro, go through that, and then we'll go through the verses. The verses are relatively easy to do, so if you want to play the tune and you just want to kind of simplify that intro section, that would be something that you might like to approach if you find the intro a little bit tricky. If you're doing your own version, remember, you can just change it up how you like. So take the bits that you can play and then leave off the bits that you can't and do it, make it your own version. Anyway, let's get to a close-up. Check it out. So first thing to talk about, very important, is the tuning. I guess I'd call it a D6 tuning. The two thicker strings are tuned down a tone to a D. You can use the fourth string as a reference to tune that thicker string down a tone and then the thinner string down a tone as well. But you also need to tune the G string, the third string, down a semitone as well. So that'll be the note F sharp. Probably best to use a tuner, but you could also use the 4th fret of the 4th string to tune that as well, to get it down one semitone. So it's really important that you've got that tuning. D, A, D, F sharp, B, D would be the tuning. So the intro, first of all, it's this. Okay, nice and slowly first of all. Quite a lot going on here, hey? So the very first thing we're going to play is the thicker string. Then we're going to play the 5th string with the 1st finger sliding from the 2nd fret to the 5th fret. Then we play the 4th string open, and then back to the 5th string. 1 and a 2 and 1 and a 2 and that's the count. 1 and a 2 and. Now we're playing a harmonic. This is the 7th fret 2nd string, and then it's another harmonic at the 7th fret on the 3rd string. But between that we play the thicker string, but it's just very light. So we have that finger, 1st finger will be staying there. We play that harmonic. We don't play a harmonica. We play a harmonic. Then we play the thicker string, and then the harmonic at the 7th fret, and then we play that thicker string again. But it's very quiet, those touches on the thicker string. Okay, 1 and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and a 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and a 2 and 3 and 4. Now it's a very kind of similar idea. We 1st finger is playing the 5th fret of the thicker string, and then we play the 5th string with the 2nd finger hammer on the 5th fret, then the open 4th string, then the 5th string again. 1 and a 2 and. This time the harmonics are on the 7th fret of the 3rd string and the 4th string, again with this bass note in between. So we have 1 and a 2 and 3 and 4 and. I'm accenting this bass note now, but remember it's really quiet on the recording that you can hardly hear it. 1 and a 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now it's essentially the same thing but with a different bass note. And the harmonics are back on the 2nd string and the 3rd string. Back to this middle one. First one. 5th fret. 7th fret. 5th fret. 1 and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and a 2 and 3. Last time we're just doing a little harmonic, using your little finger to sit down and strumming a few notes. Just going into the verses or the choruses. That's the little change in the pattern. A little bit faster now. 3, 4. There are some tricky bits, getting little problems that you might encounter. 1st finger's got to be very, very round here. If you let it lay over too much, you'll always mute that 4th string underneath. And because your fingers are then round, you've got to angle the palm of your hand to get those little harmonics. If it's too flat, just you're going to end up with lots of muted notes. And here again, to get that hammer on, the first finger needs to be much further back than it normally would be. You have to, normally you want to be right near the fret, but if you're going to have that hammer on there, you've got to move first finger back, so you will have to press a bit harder than usual with the first finger to get a good note. Look, if you press normal pressure, there it sounds good, there it sounds really rubbish, so you've got to press a bit harder. And then second finger's also got to be right on the tip. And first finger, actually. First finger's got to be right on the tip to be able to get that hammer on, and then that open string. Again, third finger's got to be right round. It's not super easy, this. In fact, it's not easy at all. This is actually a pretty complicated guitar part. It didn't take that long to figure out how it was being played, but then actually for me to get it under my fingers took a bit of practice. It's not something I just learned in 5 minutes and then could suddenly play it. I didn't take loads of practice, probably an hour all in, but over a couple of weeks where I'd been working on it. That would be the suggested process for you, in case you hadn't realized, is to learn the piece very slowly, very carefully, make sure that you get it correct first of all, real slow, then start to develop a little bit of speed and fluidity. Try and remember it as well, because again, if you try and look at a tab or something like that at the same time as being able to concentrate on all these slides and movements, it's going to be very difficult. So you need to probably memorize the piece as a set thing, and then just work on it slowly. Don't be trying to do it all in one go. You're much better off doing lots of little slots over a couple of weeks. So it's what seems to work for me, and I imagine work for most people. Let's have a look at the pick and hand as well. The thumb is playing the thicker string, first finger is playing the fifth string, second finger is playing the fourth string. That's the general run of things. But then for the harmonic, either my second finger comes down to play the harmonics both times. Sometimes my third finger is coming out. I think probably better to just use my second finger all the way through, but it doesn't really matter. You do the one that's comfortable for you. Let me just play the intro there slowly so you can have a look. So 3, 4... So now some good news. The verses and the choruses are really, really simple. It's basically the same sort of finger picking pattern most of the way through, and then we're just changing the bass notes. So let's go to a look at the finger picking pattern first, then I'll take you through how to change those bass notes. This is the pattern. It's not even a difficult one. Thumb, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 2, 1. Thumb, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 2, 1. Thumb, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 2, 1. Obviously, if you're going to have a go at singing and playing this, you've got to automate that pattern, right? So you need to just do it over and over again until you can't get it wrong. Don't do it till you can get it right. Do it till you don't even have to think about it, and it's just going to run along on its own. Because you're going to have to think about the different bass notes and all of that sort of stuff. But there's a lot going on in the vocal. The phrasing is a bit tricky. A lot of it's real high. So like, I have to really concentrate on trying to get it in tune and get the phrasing in. Probably you will too. So make sure you get this pattern, that's sorted, so you don't really have to think about it. It's not a tricky pattern. Okay? Thumb, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 2, 1. Thumb, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 2, 1. Really, really important that you get that right. So the verse progression is no fingers. First finger in the 5th fret of the thicker string. Third finger in the 7th fret. And back again to the 5th fret. You were riding your bike to the sound of it's no big deal. It's just moving around that. And you're trying to lift off the ground on those old 2 wheels. Still going. Nothing about the way that you were treated ever seemed especially alarming till now. So harmonic there. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. You can let it go. You can throw a party full of everyone you know. Still the same. Not invite your family cause they never showed you love. Now it's about to change cause it's going to 9th fret on your own. So the chorus again. You can let it go. You can throw a party full of everyone you know. Back to the 5th and go to party and it's open to 5th to 9th fret and back to 5th. And then we're back to the intro. So it goes through the verse, into the little harmonics, into the chorus, back into the intro riff again. Then there's another verse, a double chorus, so it plays the chorus twice through there, so a different lyric on the second time through. And then it goes into the little chord section. So let me take you through what's going on there. So we're coming out of that second chorus and doing it on your own. Just in time, make your tea and your toast. So this is obviously guitar, or it's a piano part arranged for guitar. So this is just barring the 5th fret all the way along, but putting little finger on the 7th fret of the 2nd string. You're just in time, make your tea and your toast. So this is again now open, 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 3. And if you want to pick out these notes, 3rd fret to the 2nd fret. That's what's going on the piano. You framed all your posters and tied your clothes. Ooh, you don't have to go. Okay, it's a little bit tricky chord, I suppose, for some people. 4th fret, mute, 4th fret, so it's 3rd and 4th fingers there. 3rd fret, and 1st finger is playing the thinnest 2 strings. Guess this is a kind of, this is a minor chord, minor 7 chord, an F sharp minor 7. I guess that's what the chord is. And then it's going back to the G, G major 7, I suppose. Let me go through it. So these are the chords you need. The G major 7, the D, the F sharp minor 7, and then there's one other chord which I may as well just take you through before we freak out. This is the only way I could get it kind of sounding right to my ears. It's the 2nd fret, muting the 5th string, open, 2nd, open, 4th. It's a little bit awkward, but there is one other chord as well. We'll worry about that one when we get there. So let's go. So G major 7, just in time, make your tea and your toast. That's the D. Back again. You framed all your posters and dyed your clothes. Ooh, you don't F sharp minor 7. You don't G major 7 go home. There's a D to F sharp minor 7 to G. I don't believe the time. There's this nice little just moving the little finger up a fret, back a fret, and then off. Then 8th fret on the 3rd string. Time will change your mind. And again, in other words, I know they won't hurt you anymore. This is the one other chord. It's an F sharp 7. 4th fret, mute, 4th fret, 4th fret, 2nd fret, 2nd fret, like that I guess. I find it easier to, my bar's only playing those thinnest 2 strings. It's a bit of an awkward chord that generally, but that's what it is, you need it. They won't hurt you anymore as long as, there's that funny E, long as D, well, F sharp minor 7 to D, G. And then we got again. You can let it go. You can throw a party full of D's that you know. F sharp minor, start a family. Who will G major 7 show you love? You don't have to be sorry for D'ing it on your F sharp minor. You can let it go. You can throw a party full of D chords that you know.
F sharp minor to the family who will G major 7 show you love. You don't back to F sharp minor, no, no. Now, I think that's the final chord on the piano, is this E thing, but I always feel like it wants to resolve back to the D. But exactly how you finish it is up to you. That is an arrangement I've done of the piano. It's not exactly what's played, it's just my interpretation of it, where I think it works pretty nicely on guitar. It is very sparse anyway. It doesn't want to be too full and too complicated. I feel like these chords are not too difficult, but difficult enough to give it a kind of the right flavor. It's a beautiful song, definitely one that you might want to think about interpreting in your own way as well. So don't feel like you have to follow all this stuff exactly. I've tried to do my best to get it kind of close enough to the record that if you want to go that way, then you can. But like I said, doing your own thing, I think, is just as important when you're doing a cover as trying to copy it exactly. Although there's always good things to learn by copying it exactly. New finger picking patterns, new chord grips, all of that sort of good stuff. And it's beautiful guitar work on the original recording. I've yet to figure out exactly who it is, but beautiful, beautiful playing. Yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this. There's more Harry Styles over on the website. There's going to be more coming up because he might be a pop guy, but I think he's an absolutely stellar artist, like properly great musician. I love his records, so I'm going to be doing some more of his stuff very soon. Have a great day. I'll see you for more. Bye bye.